this part I will be attaching the seat. The last part I did the engine mounting plate. I attached these two pieces and measured up and attached this plate. I'm going to be probably cutting off this stuff right here at the end sooner or later, so there's not all that gunk there. After I filmed that, I did weld a bit on the axle mount so I can get those in place a bit more strongly. But in this part, I'll be attaching the seat. The frame is upside down right now, obviously, as you can tell. And I will have, I'm going to have, like over here, two pieces going across, parallel to each other. I have the areas ground down, but looks like I need to do a little bit more. Doesn't look that clean for some reason. And those pieces will hold the seat up. Now the reason why I'm attaching these bars on bottom as opposed to on top is because the seat has this red thing that protrudes out a lot. This will allow it to be a sliding seat, which I might not do actually. I could put a couple pieces of that metal through and have bolts going into the slots, but for it to be effective I'd have to have the bolts go through at the very front of these slots, and as you can see that's only a few inches apart, and that's not going to be very, that's not going to give you much structure. I might have one that goes in the front, or the front attachment going through one of the slots, and the back one simply being below the back part right there, not bolting in, just kind of being below it. But again, that's going to be a bit weak. So what I might do is simply have a fixed seat where I'll just weld straight to the cross pieces. So you can't really move the seat. Let's weld the red piece to it. It is detachable, of course, so that's not going to be a big issue. Right now, I have two cross pieces cut. Finished this up last night. And I will be grinding these down so that I can attach the seat and weld to it. So that's my plan for today. Bars have been welded in. Now what I'm going to do is flip it over and fill up a little bit of welds on the underside. Now here you can see how it's kind of going to go. We've got enough space in back. This can actually move up a little bit. Enough space there. And you can see how that red mount thing goes onto those bars pretty well. Yeah. That's why I put it on bottom, because if I put it on top, this whole assembly wheel thing, or seat, would be way too high. It's pretty good height right now. All I need to do is grind down the red mount and the bars going across and see if I can weld it in. Okay, so the seat attachment plate has been ground down. So I can now resume and weld it up. I think that's on pretty well. It shouldn't really budge too easily. I'm going to flip it over and later on give it some welds in there. Just to make sure, I guess. Well, yeah, that worked out pretty well. Okay. Just going to pop the seat on and see how it looks. So there you go, it's now on. Good thing is, it's got a little bit of suspension on it. Should hopefully make your ride a little bit less bumpy when you're riding around and everything. It doesn't tip forwards all the way. No big deal though. So I think the little kind of suspension on it's kind of cool. Okay, so right now, it's actually kind of starting to take shape quite a bit. The next major thing to do is the steering. Then after that, it'll really look like it's getting done. After I do the steering, which I think will be in the next part, that might take a while though, I am going to then have to work on the pedals, hooking up all the cables and everything, and the brake, which is actually going to be kind of a big job too. Hooking up the caliper won't be a huge thing to do, but the control rod and getting it to actually close with the pedal up there might actually be kind of a lot of work. So next part, steering. Part after that, brake. Depending on when I put the pedals on and everything, I don't really know. I will definitely mount the caliper pretty soon though. But yeah, it's really starting to look like it's coming together, you know. This whole tightener system works fine. Obviously the engine isn't bolted in, it's kind of sitting there. I have to get some shaft collars to go around here to prevent the stuff from sliding side to side. Same thing with this, and actually that too. I actually have them, all you need to do is put them in. The front wheels I bought, those are arriving in a few days. They are the same wheels as those ones right there. So that should work pretty well. Okay. Well, next time I should be mounting the steering and everything, but I've really made a lot of progress on this thing. I started like a couple weeks ago, I think, and I've stopped for a few days here and there, but yeah, it's really starting to come along.